draw in my first match. I have to win the second one. I can't afford to lose this. All I gotta do is win the rest. The title's mine and... Oh, hey, bro. What's up? Look, bro. I'm gonna put this as simple as possible. I got some news from the GM that today our match is gonna have a special stipulation. Samuel, I understand you're my brother, but why the hell are you talking to me about this right now if we're opponents today? Look, out of respect, brother to brother, I thought I'd tell you ahead of time before you're surprised, okay? Whatever you say isn't going to change the fact that I'm going to brutalize you in that ring. Samuel, we're brothers, but I need to win this match. Yes, Knight, whatever. Look, I understand at the end of the day we're still opponents and we're still going to put each other through hell. Because we know each other so well, we trained with each other, we grew up together. But this isn't out of the kindness of my heart. This is to make it fair. But today's match is a special guest referee match. You're kidding, right? For what? There's no reason for this. Could have just made it a no DQ match or made it a normal match like everything else tonight. Well, here's the problem. After the last time you beat up the referee, well, the higher ups got a little upset. So, let me put this simply. They didn't make it no DQ because then you'd be allowed to beat up the ref and they just have to send a new one out there. They didn't make it a normal one because if you lost, well, you'd beat up the referee after regardless. Which I'm not going to lose. But your point is? My point is that today's special guest referee is someone that you definitely wouldn't lay a finger on. Oh, really? Who is it, Devon? Look, all respect to Devon, but I would mess him up if he cost me a match. No, it's not Devon. What? Why would it be? It's not. Look, sorry that you have to hear from me, but it's Rose. What? Look, they told me earlier today, as I was coming out of the locker room, that tonight's match is going to be a special guest referee match, Knight versus Samuel, Perez versus Perez, with Rose as a special guest referee to ensure that you don't hurt the ref, okay? Screw this damn company. Hey, I'm just letting you know so it's even, okay? May the better Perez brother win. Whatever you say, Samuel. Whatever the hell you say. Whatever you say, Samuel. Whatever the hell you say. And here we go. Finally, welcome to week 2. Sorry about the delay. I've been very busy. Of CAW tournament. At least here on my part. And as we heard from the announcement backstage, well, technically finding out the hard way. This match is a special guest referee match. Now, last week in the Universal Title Conference, we saw that Knight crashed out on the referee pretty much and beat the crap out of him. So this week, nothing negative to say. The Sniper Samuel Perez, your Intercontinental Champion in MPW. Knight's, of course, younger brother. But, as I was saying, due to Knight's violence against the referee, management and the GMs of the Universal Title Division have agreed to make this match a special guest referee with Rose as the ref. Not only because Rose will probably be impartial, considering she's, of course, still good friends with Samuel and is dating Knight, but also to ensure that Knight won't hurt the referee, because Knight wouldn't hurt Rose. Well, that's what they're banking on. We'll see. But the Sniper Samuel Perez, we know in his very first match, he went up against Chad Webster, of which, of course, Samuel Perez took that loss to Chad Webster, unfortunately for him, which Knight was very upset about. Of course, Chad, we saw destroy Knight's chest, and now destroyed his brother as well.
From Orlando, Florida, weighing in at 196 pounds, the Super Athletes Knight.
And here comes the super athlete Knight. We see his chest still bandaged up from that chop from Chad Webster during the Rumble. That thing left a mark on his chest. If you took it off, you'd see all types of red and bruises. And it's kind of gross. I don't think you want to take it off. But the super athlete making his way down to the ring. Knight, what a man he is in this company. What hasn't he done? We know former EWE tag team champion, world champion. He's done it all pretty much. But what a win the Universal title could be for this man. Really solidifying him as one of the greatest to ever do it. But last week, we know what caused him to freak out like that and attack the ref was the fact that he didn't win his first match in the tournament. Instead, resulting in a count-out draw against the Lone Wolf, Don Fletcher, who will be competing in our main event tonight. That really is what ticked him off. So Knight, backstage, English, that he vowed for this to be a win and not another draw and not a loss. So we'll see how that turns out for Knight as the two squaring up against each other. Locking eyes. Knight just turning to Rose, talking to her. Knight just taunting the crowd now, Samuel. Let him do his thing. We got a lock up between the two brothers. Now, locking up, this is actually a lot more contested than you think. Knight, he's no slouch to technical wrestling. That LeBell lock of his, very clean, and that tilt-to-whirl armbar is very gifted. But Samuel Perez, you'd have to imagine, is a better technical wrestler. Is Knight trying to wrestle out, and Samuel holding on to that wrist. Samuel has to be the technical wrestler. Samuel Perez has been shown to go toe-to-toe with guys like AJ Fox, toe-to-toe with guys like Chad Webster, like Super. In terms of technical wrestling, Fireman's carried by Knight, though. Now he's got the arm locked in deep. Again, like I said, though, Knight, no stranger to technical wrestling, but the size advantage of Samuel, the length, really is what helps him be so good in these technical situations, but the intelligence and skill. Samuel's trained for so long in wrestling situations like this. Being a former UFC fighter, in fact, if none of you knew, I'm not sure if you did, here we got a chin lock down the floor, just sitting Knight down after a beautiful snapmare Rose. Watching it closely, not calling any breaks, not calling anything here. I'd imagine she's going to call it mostly down the middle. And now Knight again, just taking advantage of his brother. And you've got to wonder, how will these two fare against each other, knowing the other's moves so well? Brother versus brother. This is tight. It's going to be, very close, very evenly matched. They trained with each other. They grew up together. As Knight, chin lock of his own, but yeah, Samuel again right back at the wrist. You see just back and forth, back and forth. And if they know the other's moves well, how is that going to come into play? How will Knight be able to counter the headshot? How will Samuel be able to counter the curb stomp as Knight side headlock here? It's really all going to come down to who knows the other better. But in terms of in-ring ability, you've got to wonder, who's got that? Samuel drops down, leaps over his brother now. What's this? Beautiful sit-out spine buster. Now hooking the legs, Rose sliding in, count of 1, 2. Knight kicks out at 2, not going down that easy. But Knight immediately right back up, lock up again, but no one getting the advantage this time as the two brothers staring off to each other's. Knight, big throat thrust. Knight, he's been wrestling for longer than his brother Samuel. Knee drop, no, dodged by Samuel. He's been wrestling longer than Samuel, but Samuel's no joke, and now Sam attacking that injured chest of Knight. I mean, they're brothers, but they're going to want to win this just as much as anyone else in this tournament, because this means a lot to either of them. Samuel, the Intercontinental Champion, Knight, multi-time champion in almost any company he's been to. Knight eats the turnbuckle, I think, hard. Samuel runs over, Knight catches him a knee, but wait, Knight in position, that springboard knee. One of his most iconic signature moves, and off top, that usually sets him up for the diving blockbuster, telling Samuel to get to his feet. Beautiful slam by Samuel, though, catching him right out of the air, picture perfect. Now Samuel just striking down Knight and a Russian leg sweep. Whereas again, so far, calling this down the middle, as you'd hope, as you'd imagine. Knight in the turnbuckle again, just eating the turnbuckle hard. And Samuel just pressing him into the turnbuckle, just talking trash to his brother, their family. And you gotta imagine there's gotta be a little bit of a sibling rivalry there, as there always is. Knight a kick to Samuel, strike again. Knight with the strength, exploder to his taller brother. Samuel's like what, 6'5", 6'6". He's a tall man, and Knight's only like 5'5". And speaking of which, referenced this earlier, the LeBell lock! Locked in deep, Rose saying Samuel's foot just got to the ropes. Knight looking up a little upset. Looked like he was going to crash out a little bit there, but no, he's not going to hit Rose. He wouldn't hit his girlfriend. I'd hope. That'd be kind of bad, Knight. Look bad on your resume. Into the turnbuckle and a beautiful basement dropkick to his brother. That hurt. Saw Samuel writhing in pain there. This win is very important to both these men. As you saw, as they came down to the ring, their records right now, Samuel 0-1, and Knight has one draw to his name. As Knight looking for a beautiful suicide dive to the Sniper. And a knee drop from the super athlete. Knight, we saw, one draw, Samuel, one loss. Both of these guys have yet to have their first win in this tournament, though this is the second. Weak chop block tonight. So a win here will put them in way better standings than a loss or another draw for either of them. Now Samuel, not on his shoulders. What's this? Into the ring post. Good night. Knight. Samuel looking at Rose. Continuing to count them out. Continuing to call it now. And Knight brought back into the ring, and Samuel getting up, now getting to his feet. Samuel launching himself over, beautiful crossbody. Samuel now with Knight by the back of the neck against the ropes. He goes, and outside goes Knight, but Samuel looking to do what his brother did, but maybe even better. Beautiful dive over the top rope. Samuel bringing up Knight, I think. Says no. Big knee strike, just trying to wear his brother down. Rose having to restart the count. Count of two now. Samuel with Knight by the back of the neck. Looking at the ring post. Looking at the apron even. That's the hardest part of the ring. I don't know if you knew that. And Samuel. Uh-oh. Shikaroshi maybe. Shades of AJ Fox, his former rival. But Knight battling out of it with elbows and a basement dropkick. Now it says forearm. Oh, relax, Knight. This is your brother. Oh, my Lord. He's getting a little violent there, getting a little aggressive. A little uncalled for from Knight to his own brother, and a knee drop to the nose. I mean, all's fair, and I guess a league match. I mean, you want to win. It's a right hand. Knight leaping off the apron a little bit, sliding off of it. Beautifully performed. And again, these forearms to the back of his brother's neck. The Sniper is in a bad way right now in a throat thrust. A beautiful lariat. And as far as I'm aware, I don't think this is the first time that these two have faced off. As Knight telling Rose to hold the count, letting Samuel get to his feet. The crowd doesn't know what to think of this. I guess, I mean, they're still brothers. Knight does want a fair match against his brother. And now Samuel back in the ring. The two squaring off. Looking like they're going to get a little bit of a reset here. The strike to Samuel. Oh, chop to the injured chest, but Knight chopping back. I don't know if you want to go blow for blow for two reasons with Samuel. One, Samuel, I'd imagine, though they are pretty close in striking, the length and size of Samuel's probably going to give him the advantage. But Knight, your chest is injured. That's got to hurt. And again to that taped up chest. And a chop to Samuel. Chop to Knight. Back and forth. Samuel caught that one out, though. Chop. Knight caught that one out, though. Samuel caught that chop. Knight caught that chop. Right hand from Knight. And these two are going blow for blow. No one getting the advantage. Enziguri, though, by Samuel. That's the advantage. But Knight back up. Beautiful lariat. Slamming the mat. Feeling good. But Samuel, a kick. He's not staying down. But Knight back up. Basement drop kick. Knight's not staying down. Knight with the advantage. And Samuel crawling to the ropes to gather himself. But Samuel up top. Turned around. This is a bad position. Knight with the arm like a half Nelson right now. Avalanche! Half Nelson suplex. Good night, Samuel Perez. 1, 2. Samuel muscles out at a count of 2. Knight beating his chest. Bringing Samuel back up now. And Samuel into the turnbuckle. Still looking for a big left hand. Now Samuel catches him out. Chop. And again, here comes the strikes. Kick to the knee. Spinning backhand. Beautiful lariat folding the older brother Knight. Samuel up top. The shooting star press. His signature move. Hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. No! Knight still kicks out of a shooting star press. Sniper bringing up his brother now. And Ushika Roshi connects this time, and a knee to the back. Shades of the man he beat for the Intercontinental title. AJ Fox, the surgeon. Wait. Samuel looking for a headshot. Headshot connects. This could be it for Knight. Samuel could pick up a huge victory. 1. Wait, Rose. 2, 3. What? And the slow count, Rose. That's gotta make Samuel upset, and Samuel screaming at Rose saying, what the heck? What's the matter with you, Rose? But no, from behind, turn around, right hand, kick to the gut, the stomp to Samuel. Knight checking on Rose, making sure she's okay. Good night, Samuel Perez, after staring down Rose. But no, he reaches the ropes, and Rose still at least gonna call that. And Irish whip off the ropes. Beautiful swinging neck breaker by the super athlete. Knight now going outside. Crowd here in Argentina loving it. No, Knight thinking about it. He's going to that place. Grabs the announcement table. Everyone's got to scatter. The Spanish announce team having to move out the way. We don't have a Twitch announce team for this tournament on my end at least. No. Knight! Down he goes on the apron. Samuel catching him off guard, and Rose starting her count. And Samuel's this. Whoa, holy, what a DDT. Ow. And Rose continuing her count out, but Knight, this is how you got that draw with Don Fletcher. I don't know if you want to go to the announcement table again. Ref on the count of 4. Knight into the announcement table, and first slammed. Count of 5 by the ref, and Knight slammed again into the announcement table. Down he goes. Count of 6 now. No, Samuel, you're going to want to just send Knight down and get back in that ring. 7. No. Up goes Knight. Right hand to Knight. 8, I think. Right hand. Strike back. What count is that? I don't know. That's not. I guess she lowered the count. I don't know. But Knight looking for her. Pedigree through the table. Can he get back this time though? 9 count. And that's 10. Knight not back in time. And Rose screaming saying that was 10. But Knight attacking his own brother. This has got to make Knight upset. Another draw count out because he was too busy putting someone through an announcement table. Knight, you've got to relax, but Knight, no. On the outside to his own brother, don't do this. Then stop Samuel. Out cold. Knight saying, this was my match. I should have won, but that means this match is a draw. Staying on that Rose saying, let's go, and Rose leaving with her boyfriend. And here we go, second match here in Argentina. And what a match we have on our hands. There we go. It's waiting for them to show up.
Making his way to the ring from the Bronx, New York, weighing in at 300
Here comes Devon Parker, Rose Parker's older brother. This man is an absolute behemoth of a man. Do you see the size of that man right there? It's a bad, bad man. Devon says he made it out the mud, says he made it out the streets, says he made it from hard times, but he's here now to change all that. He's here now to fix all that, and he's here to release his anger. And I guess you can't really say healthier ways, just more legal ways, I suppose. But Devon, we saw in the first week, he went up against a very unfortunate opponent in Kyle Rise. That's rough when you're new to this industry. But, of course, Devon lost that match to Kyle, but he's here to redeem himself tonight in what should be an absolute brutal match against none other than Kenny Gomez. Devon looking ready. We saw two of his good, very close friends, technically almost brother-in-laws at this point. Who knows what Knight's going to propose. Compete earlier. And you got to be wondering what's on his mind after seeing what Knight did to Samuel.
And his opponent from Miami, Florida, weighing in at 226 pounds, Kenny Gomez.
Here he comes, Kenny Gomez, one of the hottest stars in the Universal title division. You know, every league I feel like has at least one of these guys, and they're called unstoppable. Kenny has been on a roll since the Rumble. We saw Kenny put up a pretty decent performance in the Rumble before eventually getting teamed up on to get eliminated by Knight, and I believe it was Dante Hero, if I'm correct. Was it Knight and Dante? I want to say it was Knight and Dante, which is two very tough opponents. So, I think almost anyone could get eliminated by those two. But since then, last week, we saw him go toe-to-toe against Super, of course, Super, former EWE World Champion, current MPW United States Champion, former EWE Tag Champion as well. So, of course, Super no slouch, very good technical wrestler, very athletic wrestler. But Kenny showed him what's what and won that match with, I'd say, almost ease. Kenny Gomez, of course, originating from No Mercy, a show that is ran by PJ Styles, of course. But Kenny Gomez is a beast of a man. You see how tall he is. You see how big he is. The muscles on this man. This is the two buffest men in the whole league going toe-to-toe in a no DQ match. At that, that's something that everyone wants to see. I know this match was specifically asked for by these two men because they said they want to just go at it, no ref stopping them, and they could do whatever they want to prove they're the real biggest threat in this whole Universal title division. Kenny showing off to the crowd. The crowd chanting, and here we go. The referee rings the bell. He's squaring off. Kenny running right at him, but pop-up Samoan drop by Devon, and immediately hooks the leg. Ref sliding in position. Not even a one. Not enough on Kenny. Not a single Samoan drop. Right hand, though. Big knee, though, by Devon. Beautiful super kick. Spicy's able to get his leg out high in jeans, and big jawbreaker by Kenny. Kenny now just showing off in the corner. Both men showing off. Headbutt dodge. Sorry, I was drinking a bit of water there. Headbutt dodge, big thrust, sorry. And headbutts out of the mask. I gotta wonder, that's gotta hurt Devon. If you were Devon, and a big super kick. Looking under the ring. And a table is grabbed. The crowd cheering for this table. The crowd loves some tables. Holding that table up. Oh, but here comes Kenny. Drop kick. Kicking that table right into Devon. Another kick. Dodged. And into the barricade. Kenny just laying on the right hands. This is a brawl. This is a fight. That's what this is. I'm sure there's some person in chat right now absolutely popping. I can feel it. Throat thrust, Kenny. Just not afraid. Not running right into it. And again, a right hand. Right hand again. Just going toe-to-toe. But another headbutt. Now up the ramp goes Kenny Gomez. Devon. Oh, Senton smushing him into that entrance ramp. Oh, that has to hurt. This is a big change of pace from that more technical, high-flying match we just saw between Samuel and Knight.
You gotta imagine, I'm sure Super Rashad Webster is gonna be in another more technical match. This is gonna be a good change of pace. It's what's this? Oh, stuffing his head onto the ramp. Just pile driving his neck into that pure metal ramp. And down the ramp goes Kenny. That looked brutal. Now Kenny into the barricade, shoulder first with authority. Devon feeling it. And a knee to the back of Kenny Gomez, another knee. Just wearing him down and lifting him up, gut wrench. Power bomb, beautifully performed on the concrete, I think that was. But, oh, shoulder first onto the concrete goes Devon. Wait, no, Kenny, no way. Deadlifting him! Military press the muscle on this man. And no. Drops him on the concrete chest first. And a beautiful form. Sitting him down. And Devon, look at the back muscles on that man. On Kenny. And big splash by Kenny. Devon out cold, I was going to say, before Kenny started flexing them guns. Kenny looking under the ring, maybe for, oh, a trash can. Okay, I was going to say like a chair or something. But a trash can, sure. Setting that trash can down. No. As Devon open a powerbomb. Don't do this, Kenny. Don't do this. Spinning him around. Sit up powerbomb onto the trash can. Trying to break the back of Devon Parker. End of the ring he goes. Kenny looking for something more. Maybe another trash can, maybe a chair. There's the chair this time that I was expecting. Into the back that he already hurt. On that trash can. Devon's in a bad spot now, though. And you can see Devon does have a slight size advantage, but that doesn't matter. Look at the strength. All the way. Oh, I think he's looking for the chair, but Devon, elbow after elbow. Wait, no. Maybe looking for a powerbomb of his own. This time maybe onto the chair. How about a little bit of payback? And turns his face. Shoulders down. Kick out at two by Kenny Gomez. Kenny from Miami. Devon from New York. And takes the turnbuckle pad off and clothesline into it by Kenny. Kenny flexing his guns. That has hurt. Devon had some bad intentions, but Kenny made the best of them, clotheslining him into that exposed metal turnbuckle. No, upside down is Devon. No, he's got bad intentions with that steel chair. No. Oh, right into it. That looked like a low blow from Kenny. Kenny has no care for his opponent's well-being. Now Kenny sizing him up. Oh, that pump handle. X Factor finishing maneuver. Good night. Beating his chest. Kenny, got to get the pin here, but no, not done. Deadlifts him again. Oh! What a beautiful slam. And Kenny now leaving the ring, looking under it. Sledgehammer in his arms. Where did he get a sledgehammer from? And oh, right to the face of Devon and an elbow. Kenny's brutalizing him. Kenny now sliding out the ring. He's running around. What's he looking for? He's got his hands on a table. And into the ring goes the table. A table that I believe Devon brought out, I want to say. But Devon catching out Kenny. Devon, what's he looking for now? Has Kenny by the back of the neck. Lining him up on this table here. Big throat chop. Another one. Left hand to the midsection. And now sizing him up. Big kick. Wait, maybe looking for a pop-up. Power! No! Kenny battling back with right hands before he eats that table. But no, the pump handle. How about you eat the table in? Stand X Factor onto the legs of the table. Down goes Devon. Devon grabbed by the back of the neck now and into the exposed turnbuckle. And 2, 3, no. Devon fighting back. Kenny eats the exposed metal instead. But Devon, no. He wants a little bit of payback. But he's not done. How about a third time? And a fourth time. Is he not done? No, he's heading up to the very top. Uh-oh. He's looking at that table with some bad intentions. Parker setting up that table. But wait, turn around, Kenny. Kenny, right hand, no cut. Double legs and oh, he eats the table hard. Kenny bringing up Devon now. Devon sent into the exposed turnbuckle back first. What is this? How about a second time? And now up he goes. Kenny, no. Kenny can use his table to his advantage now. Through the table. And Kenny flexing his muscles. Kenny, no. Sizing up Devon from the corner. Devon getting told to get up and he's struggling to his feet. Devon, he put up a phenomenal performance against Kyle Rise. He's put up a great showing now, but he's so new. And you gotta wonder, how does he get this win over a former No Mercy champion like Kenny Gomez? And there's that form. Seeing him out, is that form enough to put him down? 2, 3, no! Powers out of it. But he's not done. How about a second knee pump handle? X Factor face buster. Good night. 1, 2, 3. Kenny Gomez with the huge win over Devon Parker.
Here is your winner, Kenny Gomez.
What a win for this young man. What a must-needed win, and Kenny has yet to lose a match. Here we go, third match of the night. Chad Webster versus Super.
Making his way to the ring from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, weighing in at 234 pounds, Chase Webster.
Not Chase anymore. Announcer, you are incorrect. But the symbiote, Chad Webster. Chase was his name when he was in MPW. Symbiote, Chad Webster is here making his mark. Chad, in his first match, went toe-to-toe with Samuel Perez, of which he won that match with a beautiful surprise roll-up. Chad showing off his flexibility. We saw in his first match. He didn't quite have it fully together. Of course, came out with Neon. Neon not here today. Doesn't think he's going to need it against Super, but I mean, Super known to cheat. He might need him later. Chad, such a phenomenal technical wrestler. The lights flickering for this man. Such a phenomenal technical wrestler. Such a phenomenal striker this man is. But you can say phenomenal all you want, but here's a man that can lose. Self-phenomenal.
185 pounds, the John.
Here comes John Super. Super. It's rough to describe this man. Super. He loves to cheat. He loves to lie. He loves to do anything to make sure he wins a match. And you hate him for it. But oh, how successful he's been. Super, current MPW United States champion, former MPW Intercontinental champion. You could say one of the greatest MPW Intercontinental champions of all time. Former EWE World and Tag Team champion. I believe he might have even been MPW Tag champion at one point with Jeremiah and Pizza from SCB before he turned into whatever dirty loser he is now. But as much as you can hate on Super, you gotta give him credit where credit's due. Guys hit each other up. Big lockup by Chad Webster. And in the technical department, you've got to wonder who has the advantage. Super been at this for a long time, but so has Chad. Two of the more veteran wrestlers in this Universal Title League. We have a lot of young wrestlers in the Universal Title League. Kyle, very young. Dawn, very young. Kenny, very young. Devon, very young. But then, of course, you do have guys like Samuel, Super, Chad, and Knight, who've been at this game for a while, but Super crushing Chad's head between his legs, big strike to the ribs, beautiful. Chad giving up. See getting out of it. Chad now locking up again. You see jostling for position. Now I'd imagine in tactical, maybe you give the advantage to Chad Webster here and the striking advantage, but Super just so athletic. Oh, he has the wrist, beautiful wrist flush. Super, whoa, rolls out, kips up, car wheels out of it, and now he's got Chad's wrist. Beautifully performed, holy. You know, I was saying gives Chad the technical advantage, but look at Super. But now Chad clutching the wrist. That's an awkward position to be at. From there, he could sweep your leg and drag you down. He could wrench on the wrist more, pull it behind your head, pull your shoulder out of the socket, wrench on the elbow. But now Super behind the back, another very awkward position. Wrenching on the wrist as he just going after the other's arm. Of course, Chad needs his arms for the riptide, for the symbiote injection. Super needs his arms for the one that you need, for the crossroads, for the Falcon Arrow that he does. And a beautiful chin lock now by Chad Webster. And now, I think this might actually be the first meeting these two have ever had. As far as I'm aware, these two have never met in a singles match. I believe they might have met in the Rumble. I believe they might have met in like tag team action or like multi-man matches, but I don't know if these guys have ever met one-on-one. Correct me if I'm wrong. And the elbow to the shoulder by Chad. Just look at that wrench in the wrist. Super has that pad though around his arm. That padding, you know, trying to keep it sturdy, but Super big punch. Striking out of it, getting control of his wrist. Look for another strike. Chad catches him. Forearm, but Super ate that chop. I don't know if you want to get into a chop battle with Chad Webster. Right hand by Chad. Chop by Super. Right hand by Chad. Chop by Super. Right hand, no cut. Chop, no cut. Right hand, these two go for blow. Super catches the super kick, but he goes right back to it. But first you don't succeed. Try again, but Chad right back up. Laying in the forearms. And a beautiful lariat. Chad Webster is feeling it. And I said you don't want to get into a striking battle with Chad. What did I say? Oh, what a chop. No, no. This is injured guys before. We saw what it did tonight. Yes! He's signaling for it! Woo! The chop heard across the arena in an electric chair! Beautiful German! Good night, Super! 1, 2, Super! Shoulders up at 2. Super brought to his feet now. Right hand, Super catches that one though. And no, oh, what a soul cook. Did you hear the thud on that? And a stomp to the gut and a kick to the back. Super just taking it more his pace now, letting himself catch his breath as he wears down Chad. That super kick again, no dodge by Chad. Clothesline, clothesline. Catches the leg of Super. Oh, but what an enziguri. Chad eats that, down he goes. Super up top. Again, I said Super has the athleticism advantage. Shooting star. Everyone living shooting stars today. 1, 2. Oh, Chad powers out at 2. Beautifully performed shooting star by the one that you need. And that nickname, the one that you need, as much as you can deny it, Super has been a mainstay in any company he's ever been. But wait, as I'm saying that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, third strikes to Chad and just dumps him. Super has been a mainstay in any company he's been. EWE, NPW, FWE, LRPW, NXT UK. This man has held gold in almost every company. He's looking for more here in the CAW League. Now Super, look at this. Just wearing down Chad, taking his time, stalking his prey, rolls through. Wait, his signature move, the Falcon Arrow! Off a gator roll, beautifully performed. 1, 2, 3 again. Barely the shoulder up by the symbiote. Again, that stomp. Kick to the back, but Chad getting out the way. Super saying, come on, is that all you got? Chad, what is this? Come on! He screams at Super. Super left hand to the gut. Chad dodges that one. Oh, the chop. Chop again. And a knee. That chest of Super starting to turn red. Very, very red. Chad now size him up. Oh, what is this? Super to the bottom rope. Chad heading to the middle. Has him? No. No, his signature move! But from the top! Rip! Side! But a kick out at 2 by John. Now Super brought back to his feet. Chad Webster going to any length to take this man out. Super DDT though, just stopping any momentum Chad Webster had. Holy, not just wiping his feet, kicking dirt at Chad, saying he's not worth my time. A beautiful, what a lariat by Super, and Chad just trying to crawl to the ropes, and Super taking the turnbuckle pad off. We saw this last match. The last match was no DQ, so it was legal. But Super stomped to the chest. Some classic heel maneuvers here by Super today. Super, we saw in his very first match, he went toe-to-toe against Kenny Gomez, which he suffered defeat. Falcon Arrow, though, by Super, one of his signature moves. So we know Super wants to win this today. Chad, in his first match, of course, as I mentioned, beats Samuel Perez, but one that you need! Hooks the leg! 1, 2, 3, no! So Chad, of course, has the point advantage heading into this match. Chad with 3 points, Super with 0. And the crowd chanting we're not worthy. Super jostling for position, but grabbing Chad. No, looking at that exposed turnbuckle. But the ref getting in the way and fixing the turnbuckle. The ref saving Chad, but Super staying on the offensive, but Chad elbow. He's not, Super can't cheat like he wanted to. Symbiote injection. 1, 2, and 3. You're kidding me. Super wanted to cheat, but the ref got in the way and Chad hit the symbiote injection. Ref got there in time, but not happening in Super. Beautiful strike, but Super won. That you need. Sizing up, Chad. This is all but over. Super now taking off another turnbuckle pad. He's taking off the other turnbuckle pad. I don't know if the referee's going to mess with it again after the threats from Super. Super looking at that turnbuckle pad. This is bad, Chad. You got to fight back, Chad. But Super letting go, striking him back even more. Into the corner he goes, jab into it. And Super, no, what is he looking for? Just raking his eyes, ref. Not doing a thing about it after Super threatened him. Super screaming at the ref a little bit more, and a knee strike to Chad, the symbiote Webster. Super, what is this now? Snapmare. Raking the eyes with the bottom of his boot. And again, staring down the ref, threatening him even more. We need new referees in this league, man. And Super snap. Suplex! And up comes Chad. And now, what is this? Beautiful side Russian leg sweep by the one that you need. This is looking grim for the symbiote. Super now sends Chad off the ropes. What an elbow! And again, wiping his dirt at Chad Webster. Chad now brought to his feet. Chad into the regular turnbuckle. And a clothesline by Super. Super bringing up Chad Webster. Right back up to his feet. Chad grabbed by the back of the neck. No. Looking at the exposed turnbuckle. But Chad finally some life coming back into him, battling back. Chad with his kick. Wait, no. The rip. Side. 1, 2. Oh, she wrote no. Kick out by Super. And Webster now right hand, forearm. And the referee fixing the turnbuckle this time. But Super, wait, from his shrugs. His brass knuckles that he uses. Put him back in his tights. Good night, Chad. The ref didn't see it. Fixing the turnbuckle. One that you need. Not like this. Not this way. And the second. One that you need. 1, 2, 3. Unfortunately for Chad Webster, Super cheats his way like always to a big win in his first one of the league, and that's Chad Webster's first loss, making both these. And here we go, the main event time. This is honestly quite a dream match for a lot of people if you watch both companies. But here comes. It's hard to describe this man without saying talented, as much as you hate to say.
Falls match, making his way to the ring from Sydney, Australia, weighing in at 224 pounds, the future Kyle Rice.
Kyle Rice, future normal match, not too out of. Regardless, here comes Kyle Rice. You see on the back of his jacket saying he's the GOAT. I don't know how to feel about that. But Kyle, we know, the EWE Hardcore Champion, and of course, the AEW World Champion. Such an interesting mix of accomplishments this young man has. But this man, Kyle Two Belts, calls himself the GOAT, and as much as people are going to want to deny it, he is slowly approaching that conversation. One of the best technical wrestlers and best high-flying wrestlers in the world right now. The riser, the GOAT, the future, Kyle Rice. Trained by a legend in his own right, Justin Ford, former partner with a guy called Alpha Star. I mean, this man had it all, and then he betrayed it all for money, for fame, for freaking Paragon J. Pierce. What a downfall that was. But since then, this man is one of the brightest young stars in pro wrestling. But speaking of bright young stars, though he is a little bit older than Kyle Rice, but not by a lot. Here comes the lone wolf, Don Fletcher. If he's going to show up.
And his opponent from Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing in at 228 pounds, Don Fletcher.
The lone wolf, Don Fletcher. Don, in his first match, we saw him draw with Knight after going to a double countout at that announcement table like he did again earlier. And owling up at the sky. Don Fletcher, we're talking about Kyle Rice's accomplishments. Let's talk about this man for a little bit. Don Fletcher, former MPW World Champion, though the shortest reigning MPW World Champion of all time, not to his own fault. And the current MPW Rumble winner. This man's got a bright future ahead of him with that Rumble spot secured, making him go after Tommy War's world title and being a former world champion in his own right. He could be the third ever multi-time world champion. We've only seen that done by Tyler Arkinson and Hayden Newman, two of the greatest to ever do it in EWE, FW, MPW, CAW wrestling in general. And if Don Fletcher does that, he could also be in that upcoming GOAT conversation. So him and Kyle Rice, honestly, this is a battle for the future of what this industry could look like. But Don showing off to the crowd up above, still wearing that green attire that he wore to Brazil. I hear his flight was delayed, so he got here a little bit late. They didn't exactly have much time to pack, but he's got a new jacket on at least, so that should count for something. But this match, Don, you gotta wonder how his experience, how his wrestling style is gonna fare against a guy like Kyle Rice. Don, a lot more striking oriented, like we see there, while Kyle's more technical and just striking him down instantly. Elbow drop immediately. The aggression from Don Fletcher, striking down Kyle Rice, but Kyle leaving the ring. He's not dealing with that, and look at Don flexing. Kyle saying, come on, bring it on. Saying, is that all you got? Don showing off, and Kyle taking his time, playing it smart. Don saying he's going to let him get back in the ring, saying waste all the time you want. This is your fault. The ref not starting his count, though. As this match is, unlike what the ref said, 2 out of 3 falls, it's no disqualification instead. But a roll-up now by Kyle, 2, 3, no, almost a 3 count kick out by Don Fletcher. That was awfully close. The slap, the chop. Right hand, chop. Right hand, chop. This match, as I mentioned, no disqualification, not 2 out of 3 falls. Don't know why they said 2 out of 3 falls. Not going to question it. A chop. Right hand. chop. He's still going blow for blow, though. I'd imagine Don Fletcher has a slight advantage in a striking situation like this. More experience in those striking situations, and he loves himself a good forearm, and they still going blow for blow to the brightest young stars in their respective companies in EWE and NPW. Trading blow after blow after blow, and Don gets the advantage as expected. Kick to the leg again, just feeling out Kyle, and a big, again, that overhead chop, and again, a big stomping at the knee. Don saying it's good night already. Oh, wait. No, he's signaling for that forearm in the back of the neck. Oh, good night, Kyle, already. His signature move, that disgusting forearm. 1, 2, 3. No, Kyle. Shoulders up, just in the nick of time. Don getting back up to his feet, bringing Kyle up along with him. And off the ropes. And what is this? Beautiful neck breaker, beautifully performed by Don. Hooks the leg again, just trying to wear out Kyle. 1, 2. Kyle kicks out at 2 again. This is smart by Don Fletcher. You keep pinning Kyle Rise. Eventually, he's going to run out of energy, run out of stamina because of these constant kickouts in the end of the corner. Maybe looking for that forearm. No. Elbow by Kyle. Kyle not letting that happen. Now into this turnbuckle. And a Luva kick to Don Fletcher. Both of these guys, we know Kyle Rise won his last match by disqualification. The fall off. 2, 3, no. Kick out at 2 after the fall off by Kyle Rise. That's what he started naming that elevated flatliner. Now Don into the corner. As I was saying, though, Kyle Rise won his first match against Devon due to Justin Ford coming out and basically costing Devon that match. He attacked Kyle, giving him the win by disqualification. But look at this leap by Kyle! Avalanche German! This is awesome chance ringing throughout the crowd. And we got a table in play, because of course we would get one from Kyle Rise. Kyle showing up, but Don right back up, suicide dive. And Don bringing up Kyle. Kyle gets a kick. Maybe looking for that powerbomb into the apron like he did tonight. Voice crack, like he did tonight even. Powerbomb to the apron and swings him into the side. Hardest part of the ring if you didn't know. And we've got a second table. Fat chance if we want tables, and Don delivering. Kyle cracked over the head with that table as Don sets the table up on the outside. Bad intentions that Don Fletcher has. Don, we know he loves to get hardcore from time to time, and bringing Kyle over to that table. This could spell bad news for the Riser. No. Set up on that table. What's Don doing? Don sizing him up, looking at the crowd. The crowd don't know what Don is looking for here. Setting Kyle up on that table again. Slamming his wrist down with authority onto the table. But Don, no, from the inside of the ring. Body splash through the table. More This Is Awesome chants throughout the arena for these two young stars. And now turning Kyle over. This could be it again. Already. 1, 2, 3. Still just 2. He's Don now. Sending Kyle into the corner. He's looking for that table. The crowd loving themselves this action. Loving themselves some tables. So he's looking for that knee bulldog combo maybe. Maybe that knee lariat that he goes for. Down to the corner. Uh-oh. Up top. This could be bad. Right hand. Oh, roaster. Look at the athleticism. Leaps up like nothing. Look at the speed of Kyle. Wait. No. Superplex out of the leg of the table. And a final cut. Good night, Don. 1, 2, 3. You've got to be kidding me. Don muscling out of that superplex final cut onto the leg of the table as the fall off onto the table as well. And Kyle saying, is that all you got? See a bruise forming over his eye from the strikes that Don has been delivering. He's looking for a rise! No cut! By Don! It's Don. What is this? Muscling! Kyle out with Fletcher's! Edge finishing move! Got him out of the riser, saying it's good night, Kyle! And taking him for the forearm once more! Good night! 1, 2, 3! Still just able to muscle out at 2 is Kyle Rise. Kyle brought over the table. This gets caught by Kyle. Turns him around. Kyle. Now, what is this? Nails it right on the table. Head first goes Don. Kyle screaming, showing himself off to the crowd. Cocky man, hell of a kick again. What's this, Kyle? Wait, he's telling Don to get up to his feet. What's he looking for here? Maybe a riser. Leaping up. Oh, dear God! Riser to the back of the neck! 1, 2, 3, no! Kick out at 2 after a riser to the back of the freaking neck! And Don struggling to his feet again, crowd chanting, "We're not worthy!" And an inverted scoop slam! And elbow! 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 Trying to wear down the lone wolf. And Kyle looking under the ring for something else now. There'll be another table. God chanting, "We want tables," but Kyle got a trash can instead. No. We saw this happen earlier between Kenny and Devon. Powerbomb right onto the trash can, crushing it. Having to roll to the outside. Kyle hopping all the way up top to the top rope from the inside to the outside. Good night, Don! Oh, but a form! Don's signature form out of midair! God chanted one more time! That could be good night! And a sledgehammer brought in by Don and right to the ribs of that forearm out of midair and just chucking it at Kyle's face. And now into the corner goes that table. This is bad news for Kyle Rise. Could be out after the sledgehammer. Oh, he hits the table hard. No. What's this? Threatening Kyle, smushing him between the table and the sledgehammer. Might have broken a rib or two on the riser. And the lone wolf sending the riser into the table again. They're gonna put him through this time. Kyle, big kick to the gut, trying to battle back. Fletcher eats the table from Rise, and a spear through the table. And Kyle, no. Hell's Gate, looking to tap him out in the center of the ring. Crowd chanting, "This is awesome!" But wait, shoulders down! Kyle, down! But Don tapping out at the same time! What just happened? Crowd can't believe it! How do I describe what just happened? This dude's staring off. Ref, what are you gonna say? Don forced the shoulders down on the Hell's Gate, but he tapped out at the same time as the ref calling the 3. The following contest is declared a draw. And the official's decision, it is a draw. He tapped out at the same time as the 3 count. Kyle's in, come on, run it back. Don, he's too hurt. Both these men are too hurt to run it back. And they're staring off each other.